With no shortage of dungeon exploration games, it can be hard to stand out, but Dungeon Rushers is trying to do that. But is this one game that you need to be rushing to get a hold of, or is this dungeon just not worth exploring? Originally released in 2016, Dungeon Rushers is now making its way over the Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 here in 2018. Dungeon Rushers is a good example of a pick-up-and-play, time-wasting style of game, the one you'll want to play for 30 minutes or an hour and then come back. Playing it for much longer than that, it starts to be a bit of a boring grind. That doesn't mean that there isn't a lot going on. There's well over 100 dungeons. You can replay them on a higher difficulty if you like, but a lot of dungeons look almost identical. There are a few settings, but for the most part, dungeons look the same. The dungeons, of course, have various lengths and will get harder as you make it farther in with different loot and different enemy types, though I do wish there was more variety to not only the setting, but definitely also the enemies as well. Your party starts off with one member, you'll gain new ones as you complete dungeons, and each one is a different class. They have their own skill tree and can be leveled up. You can get up to a total of 10 characters or so, with 10 levels of experience for each one of them, being able to get most of their skills and end up maxing them out, though you can only have 5 party members at a time, with 3 in the front line and 2 in the back line. As you start a dungeon, everything is complete black, and as you move square by square, everything's revealed. Each dungeon has some extra goals that you can complete if you like, such as not using potions, defeating every enemy, or revealing the entire map. As you move square by square, you'll come across the dungeon's events. These can be random ones that can give you a blessing or a curse, such as either giving you an increase in armor for a few turns, or giving you poison status. There are treasure chests that give you some random loot, as well as traps that you can deactivate. Certain characters can deactivate certain traps, and you have to use your ability points to do so, and if you run out in one dungeon, you won't be able to deactivate the trap. Though one thing I like is some characters also have the ability to kind of just rush in and take the trap for themselves so that the rest of the party is spared, so when you do run out of those ability points, at least you can have only one character be affected. If you end up failing or dying in a dungeon, you're sent back out and you can come back in and give it another try. The game does feature some story bits here and there, just some text that basically kind of introduces you to a lot of the game's mechanics, characters, and a bit of the plot that's going on, though usually doesn't get in the way very much. Combat is very simple, turn-based. Each character has 3 moves that they're able to do. Some, of course, have different status effects, some are spells, some can hit the front line, some can hit the back. Pretty standard stuff overall, and nothing really exciting about it. From the technical side of things, the game ran smoothly. I didn't run into any major glitches, crashes, or slowdown. My biggest problem is sometimes a character would defeat an enemy, and then my next character would still be able to select that now dead enemy, causing me to just attack the air. Because so many battles are so quick, and you just want to mash the button to get through them since there really isn't a whole lot of complexity to them, this ended up happening quite a bit. Dungeon Rushers is available on PS4 for $14.99, and it does feature a Platinum Trophy. The game is also available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PC, and mobile. Overall, for those who enjoy this style of game, Dungeon Rushers is actually a pretty good amount of fun. I played it a couple of years ago on PC and would consistently leave the window open and come back to it later on. However, if you decide to sit down and play it for hours straight, you may not end up having as fun a time with it. I think the idea of portability is a great thing for this game, so if you have the option, you may want to check it out on the Nintendo Switch. I don't think it's currently on Vita, and I don't know if there's any plans to release it on there anytime soon. With all that said, I'm going to be giving the PlayStation 4 version of Dungeon Rushers a 6 out of 10. But anyway guys, going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.